Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's NQA webinar. I am Charles Beecroft. I'm not the host today. I'll be sort of managing the webinar from behind the scenes. But we do have Adrian today, Adrian Brissett, who will be leading today's webinar on ISO 42001. Just for everyone here, we'll just let you know that we will start in the webinar in the next minute and a half or so, because people might be coming back from lunch or anything like that. So just get comfy, get yourself a drink or anything, and we'll start next 1 or 2 minutes. And for those who are actually here, just to let you know that unfortunately Adrian's own camera is not working at the moment. So even though he will be leading the webinar, he won't be able to see his lovely face. So you'll see mine instead, which is one of those things, which might be a good thing, might be a bad thing, but we'll take it from there. But yeah, but you'll hear Adrian's voice very soon when everyone starts to join the next minute or so, and then we'll crack on with the webinar. But we'll just wait patiently for everyone to join. Okay, it's been a minute and a half or so. Everyone's back from lunch, hopefully. So everyone can sit back, relax, take it easy. And now we're going to start the new webinar on ISO 42001. So Adrian, when you're ready, you can take it away.
Thank you very much. So thank you for joining this webinar. Today we'll be exploring the world's first international standard for AI management systems, ISO IEC 42001, and how it empowers organizations to govern AI responsibly. Now, for simplicity, I'll refer to it as AIMS, short for Artificial Intelligent Management System. Before we begin, I'd like to express my sincere thanks to Archie General for the opportunity to facilitate this webinar, and also to extend my appreciation to Dr. Charles Beecroft for his invaluable support and the marketing team. So a bit about me. I'm Adrian Brissett. I joined NQA in January this year as a regional assessor and have gained a great wealth of experience in key management systems such as ISO 14001 environmental, ISO 9001 quality, and my core specialism area, which is ISO 27001 information security. And I highly advise any of you to take these courses. They're very beneficial for me. Before joining NQA, I held various roles in IT, ranging from software engineering, business analysis, and project management. A key role in project management was where I worked as a vulnerability manager, where I really got my most experience in cybersecurity. Most recently, I completed an MSc in cybersecurity at the University of West London, where a module on machine learning sparked my deep interest in AI. For my dissertation, I explored how machine learning could be applied to detect phishing emails, a project that really fused my cybersecurity background with emerging AI technologies. The paper has since gone off to become a journal and was published in June. I highly recommend you to read the paper. At any least, it will be a cure for insomnia. Now, to set the scene, I would like to share a quote from ISO, the organization behind the standard. AI is increasingly applied across all sectors, utilizing information technology, and is expected to be one of the main economic drivers. A consequence of this trend is that certain applications can give rise to societal challenges over the coming years. So against this backdrop, today's session will explore both the opportunities and challenges posed by AI. We'll examine how AIMS can help organizations implement governance frameworks that promote responsible AI use. We'll begin by setting out a timeline of AI, which I thought would be quite pertinent. So if we look at 1950s, when Alan Turing published his seminal paper asking, "Can machines think?" a foundational moment for AI. I've also highlighted a few other major milestones in red, such as In 2022, OpenAI making the first ChatGPT chatbot publicly available, and also 2024, the EU's landmark AI Act. And some of these I'll touch on throughout this session. So what is artificial intelligence? Here's the webinar. As you can see, I've included this graphic here. I've studied screenwriting, so forgive me for this, but I had to add it. These movies delve into ethical quandaries as to technological potential and the very nature of humanity itself. From science fiction thrillers to meaningful dramas, the best AI films have offered provocative insights and captivating narratives, many of which we'll cover today. So in a nutshell, what is AI? AI is a software that mimics human intelligence, simulates thinking, learning, and problem solving. In a nutshell, it refers to the design of software applications that simulate human-like behavior, things like speech, reasoning, and the ability to process natural language. In simple terms, it mimics how we think, speak, see, and decide. And you'll see to the right, I've got the applications of AI. It's not just limited, as you see, to one industry. AI is already transforming sectors like healthcare, finance, marketing, and cybersecurity. So imagine AI as a large, excuse me, and diverse family, with each member exhibiting unique capabilities. These include, but are not limited to, natural language processing, which enables machines to understand and interact with human language, such as virtual assistants and automated translators. Computer vision, which gives machines the ability to interpret and respond to visual input, vital for applications such as self-driving cars. Robotics, which involves designing and operating machines that perform tasks in the physical world, from manufacturing to healthcare. Generative AI, which is now the star of the AI family, is the technology that's pushed AI into the mainstream. So if you look at my previous slide where I had the timeline, we're talking about since the 1950s, and it took ChatGPT in 2022 to really bring it to the fore. So I've included this slide, which shows you that it took 2 months for AI to reach 100 million users, making it the fastest growing consumer application in history. And from an economic standpoint, the potential is staggering. According to McKinsey research, generative AI could add up to 4.4 trillion annually to the global economy. So for businesses, that means massive opportunities. So let's look at the hierarchy of AI. As you will see, the deep learning, which is the heart, if you like, a powerful subset of machine learning that uses artificial neural networks inspired by the human brain. It learns from both labeled and unlabeled data, which I'll show you shortly. And you will see that deep learning is a subset of machine learning, which is a subset of artificial intelligence, which we defined earlier. So I've included this slide as a sort of high-level visual, which offers a glimpse into the powerful brain of AI, where machines learn from data, discover patterns, and adapt through experience, driving the breakthroughs we see today in everything from personalized medicine to smarter cities and real-time decision making. And as you see, I'll break down unsupervised learning, supervised learning, and reinforcement learning. Supervised learning is models learn from unlabeled data sets to make predictions or classifications. unsupervised learning, which explores unlabeled data to discover hidden patterns or groupings. So if you can see, for example, the unsupervised learning, where you have the ability to actually learn from data. We have big data visualization. Big data is a major technology within itself, and companies will rely on the data, even historical data sets, to glean and get insights from the data. The supervised learning section, we talked about the classification, and if you look at an actor being in control and monitoring and classification, classifying data. Reinforcement learning is more to do with the actual robotics, where a robot will learn by trial and error and rewards. So I initially put together 10 risks for facing organizations, but because of time constraints, I've reduced them down to 6 major risk facing organizations. So let's go through each one. So if we start with bias and discrimination, AI can absorb the biases in the data it is trained on. That means flawed decisions in hiring, finance, or healthcare, decisions that can affect lives, erode trust, and even violate the law. Deepfakes and misinformation. AI generated videos and fake news are already being used to manipulate public opinion and damage reputations. And in this age of disinformation, truth is increasingly under threat. Privacy violations. AI systems can easily cross the line when it comes to handling personal data. And without tight controls, they may process sensitive information in ways that breach GDPR and expose organizations to heavy penalties. Lack of explainability. Many AI systems are black boxes. If a system makes a wrong decision, say denying a loan or making a medical error, who can explain why, and how do you hold it accountable? Cybersecurity threats. AI systems are vulnerable to attacks, including hacking through techniques like input poisoning, which means attackers inserting harmful or misleading data into training sets, corrupting how the AI learns and functions. Malicious prompt engineering, where users craft deceptive or manipulative inputs to trick AI into saying or doing things it shouldn't. These risks highlight the need for stronger safeguards, monitoring and resilience in AI systems and design. Brand damage. If your AI tool produces bias, offensive or dangerous outputs, the backlash is instant. Brands trust takes years to build, but one AI failure can destroy it overnight. So if we can talk about who is to blame here when things go wrong, when AI goes wrong, it's a question we'll be asking more often as these systems get more embedded into our lives and institutions. The reality is, AI doesn't act independently. It reflects the data it's trained on and the prompts it receives. So when things go wrong, we can't point to the algorithm and walk away. Responsibility lies with humans, developers, deployers, and users. And because AI decisions increasingly affect our rights, safety, and livelihoods, accountability must be governed, not left to chance. We need clear frameworks that spell out who builds, who uses, who monitors, and who answers when something breaks. In short, it's not about blaming the machine, it's about governing the people behind it. So, in terms of the actual political landscape, I've included a few of the major regulators. So we start with the UK GDPR Data Protection Act of 2000 which already imposes strong requirements around privacy, consent, and data minimization, all of which apply to AI that handle personal information. I highlighted earlier on in the timeline the EU AI Act 2024, another critical regulation which introduces the world's first risk-based framework for AI. It classifies AI systems as unacceptable, high, limited, or minimal risk with strict obligations for the highest categories. We have the NIST AI risk management framework, which offers technical and governance-based approach to managing AI-related risk. We have the AI regulation policy paper, which is from a national level, including emerging and other, such as the America's AI Action Plan, which aims to position the US as a global leader in AI through innovation, infrastructure, development through international diplomacy. So from a legal standpoint, as from this month, general purpose, and we're talking about the EU AI Act, general purpose AI systems like large language models and generative AI will fall under its scope. So from an environmental standpoint, the rise of AI systems, including ChatGPT, brings significant environmental concerns. A few weeks ago, whilst auditing a company, one of the good things about my role is the first question we ask is around context. Every person always has a viewpoint on AI. One person I interviewed, his posture on, to ask him his posture on AI, he talked about he tries to avoid using AI to save the water. So to inquire what he was talking about, a single AI search or task may cost about a glass of water, apparently, not poured out, but used in the process of cooling the servers that handle your request. Now, in terms of the hardware, rapid technical changes lead to frequent hardware replacement, resulting in growing electronic waste. And to address these issues, it is vital to adopt energy efficient technologies, use renewable energy sources, and manage e-waste responsibly. These steps will ensure AI development remains environmentally sustainable for future generations. So, aims to the rescue. As mentioned earlier on, it's the first international standard specifically for AI management system. And it wasn't created in a vacuum. It's the result of intense collaboration between AI experts, regulators, academics, and industry leaders from around the world. As you see here, at its heart lies the well-known PDCA cycle, Plan, Do, Check, Act. The same continuous improvement model used in standards like ISO 9001 and ISO 27001. This means organizations can build AI systems that are not only compliant, but also measurable, adaptable, and continually improving. The goal to provide a structured, reliable, and auditable way to govern AI responsibly, ethically, securely, and transparently. So whether you're a startup building a chatbot or a global corporation deploying the predictive systems at scale, ISO 42001 gives you a roadmap to align with regulatory demands, meet ethical obligations, and build public trust. And most importantly, it helps position your organization as one that takes AI governance seriously, not as an afterthought, but at its core strategic advantage. It's about raising the standard for AI globally. So if we go back to the sixth risk we spoke about earlier on, let's talk about the sort of remedies that by adopting ISO IEC 42001 will help to resolve these. So in terms of bias and discrimination, as the tool, you can conduct AI impact assessments and use diverse representative data sets to identify and mitigate algorithm bias. So this is one of the aspects of being able to use an impact assessment via AI. Deep fakes and misinformation. We can apply clear use policies, ensure audit trails for generative content, and mandate human oversight for sensitive outputs. So in terms of privacy violations, you can align AI, we can align AI practices with GDPR and the ISO IEC 27701, which is the privacy standard, by using privacy impact assessments, consent management, and data minimization techniques. In terms of the lack of explainability, we would use interpretable models or post hoc tools to ensure decisions are understandable and traceable. And in terms of the cybersecurity threats, there is the option to perform threat modeling, secure model development, and monitor for adversarial attacks such as prompt injection or data poisoning. And what we will discuss is also the fact that it doesn't have to be deployed in a vacuum, but you can also utilize the other great standards such as 27001, cybersecurity and the quality and privacy, which we will share in another slide. In terms of the brand damage, we can conduct reputational risk assessments to ensure that that is a major consideration. So here are key dependencies and other key standards to which integrate nicely into 42001. I'll just leave this slide for a second for you to sort of peruse that. So what sets ISO 42000 apart from the other standards? It's built for the challenges we face today, from bias and the lack of transparency to the autonomy of machines' decisions and the unintended consequences of those decisions in society. It looks at human values, governance, and trust, and ensures AI is not only efficient, but also ethical, explainable, and ultimately aligned with human intent. It moves beyond checklist and compliance, and it asks you, is your AI behaving responsibly? And that's what sets it apart. So in terms of the benefits and strategic advantage, by certifying, organizations demonstrate responsible AI governance. And that's not just a tick box exercise. It shows you're serious about building AI that's trustworthy, auditable, and ethical. It enhances confidence among customers, investors, and regulators. Because when AI is used responsibly, trust follows. It aligns with emerging laws like the EU AI Act and UK GDPR, ensuring you're not just reacting to regulation, but ready for it. It provides a clear, structured AI risk management system, helping you navigate complexity and scale with confidence. And internally, it sharpens your processes, encourages innovation, and improves clarity, especially across cross-functional teams. Lastly, it gives you a passport to global markets, opening doors in regions that demand responsible AI by design. So another question is really, why are businesses now racing towards AI certification for AIMS, ISO IEC 42001? First, legislation is coming. With the EU AI Act and other frameworks on the horizon, certification helps organizations stay ahead of regulatory requirements instead of scrambling to catch up. Second, trust is currency. As AI becomes more embedded in customer experiences, transparency and responsibility are key to reputation and loyalty. Third, a certified edge is a competitive edge. Whether bidding for contracts, attracting top talent, or entering new markets, certification sets you apart. Fourth, stakeholders are watching. Investors, partners, and customers are increasingly demanding assurance that AI is ethical, compliant, and secure. And finally, risk reduction. Certification embeds AI risk management into daily operations, reducing exposure to errors, misuse, and costly oversight failures. Thank you very much for listening. I'll just hand back over to Charles.
Amazing. Thank you very much, Adrian, as well. So yeah, that was the end of the presentation from Adrian there. And obviously, if Adrian had his camera showing, we would see that lovely face, and so I was ending that webinar there. But thank you. So Adrian, could you just do me a favor? Oh, actually, could you just get the slide up for me, please, Adrian? So I can actually then see the next couple of slides, if possible. Thank you, Adrian. So he just says to reiterate what we mentioned before. Also, we do also provide certification and training services at NQA, as some of you may be aware. And we also actually have an ISO 42001 e-learning course that was launched last year, in fact. So if you want to learn more about this and get a nice shiny certificate at the end of that e-learning to show that you know the standard in more detail, please check that out. It's on our website, nqa training.com. So please check that out and you'll be able to see what we're offering there. And if you go to the next slide, Adrian, just for my benefit as well. If you have further support or need any more information, just give us a call, send us an email at training@nqa.com, join us at LinkedIn, or check out our website and our various different resources, and we'll be more than happy to support you